All right, guys. I hope it is recording what I think it's recording, which is the notes that you need when you walk into class on Monday, February 22nd. Okay? These are the notes you need. First of all, A needs to be 1, guys, and B needs to be an even number if we're going to solve using this method. So, guys, we have been factoring quadratic equations before you went on break, and now we're going to learn how to solve them. We're going to learn 4 different techniques, and this is the first technique, and we're learning that today. First thing we need to know is how to find a value of c. Remember, this is ax squared plus bx plus c. How to find a value of c that makes this expression a perfect square trinomial. A perfect square trinomial is like, I'm going to turn it over on the back to show you what a perfect square trinomial is, okay? X squared plus 6x plus 9 is a perfect square trinomial. The reason is because when you factor it, you get x plus 3 times itself. Okay, those are the magic numbers. And when you're all said and done, you can write it like this. And this is what is important. That's what makes this a perfect square trinomial, because you can factor it into a perfect square. Okay? So, let's flip it back over. So that means I just did the first one for you. How do you find this number? Half of 6 squared. That's how you find it. What's half of 6? 6 divided by 2 is 3. What's 3 squared? 9. Okay? Let's do the next one. What's half of negative 6? That'd be negative 3. Square negative 3, you still get positive 9. And then finally, what's half of negative 10? That would be negative 5. Negative 5 squared is what? Yes, 25. Okay? All right. Write this as a binomial squared. X plus 3 times x plus 3 gives me x plus 3 squared. This is going to be x minus 4 times x minus 4. So it's x minus 4 squared. This was supposed to have a 9 on the end of it. Battery is running low, but I've got my battery plugged in. At least it's supposed to be plugged in. There we go. All right. Sorry about that. Okay, so I fixed that typo. So this is x plus 7 squared. Okay? Now, here are the instructions. First of all, move the constant to the other side. You'll see what all this means when I start working problem. Well, I'll actually do it. Each time I write down a step, I'll do it down here. X squared minus 10x equals negative 54. Okay? Step 1, done. Step 2, take half of b and square it. That's what half of b squared. That's the number that we filled in each time up here. Add it to both sides of the equation. Let's see how to do that. Half of 10, negative 10 is negative 5. When I square it, I'm going to use a different color here, guys, because it's very important. When I square negative 5, I get positive 25. Whatever I do to one side of the problem, I have to do to the other. So I add 25 to both sides. All right. Now, this becomes, remember how we did 4, 5, and 6. This equation becomes x minus 5 squared, okay, equals, and over here this becomes negative 29, right? I believe so. 54 minus 25 is 29. Yeah, negative 29. All right, guys, you already know how to solve this kind of equation, okay? from Algebra 1, you take the square root of both sides to get rid of this exponent, and it leaves you with x minus 5. And here's something you forgot from Algebra 1, but that creates two answers, a positive and a negative, of whatever this crazy number is. Well, I think it's I times the square root of 29, because we just learned about I. Now, I got to add 5 to both sides. Well, where do I add 5 over here on this side? Well, this is kind of tricky. I put it in front of the plus or minus, so I'm going to put the plus 5 right here in front of the I part. So, my final answer, two answers. X is equal to positive 5 plus or minus I times the square root of 29. Wow, what an ugly answer. So, I'm sorry, I should have filled this out. So, after we factor, we take the square root of both sides, and then we continue to solve for x. So factor is just this step where I wrote it as x minus 5 to the second power. Okay, I'll explain that a little bit better in the next problem. Okay, I'm 6 minutes in. I'm going to do one more problem. I think I'll do this easy one over here. Hopefully it's easy. I don't know. That's going to be a negative number. Let me try another one that's not going to be. Let's see. Step 1, get the constant to the other side. X minus 18x equals negative 85. Step 2, take half of 18, which is 9, negative 9, and square it, and I get plus 81. So I'm going to add 81 to this side. Also, remember, this is x minus 9 times x minus 9. Okay? That's x minus 9 to the second power equals negative 4. Okay? Now I need to get rid of this 2 right here. How do I get rid of an exponent of 2? I do the opposite, which is the square root. X minus 9 equals plus or minus. Square root of negative 4 is 2i. So let's add 9 to both sides. So x equals 9 plus or minus 2i, and we are done. Okay. I got time for one more, and then I got to go Zoom with Kayla. Zoom, zoom, zoom. All right. X squared plus 20x equals 73. Half of 20 is 10. 10 squared is 100. I add 100 to both sides. X plus 10 times. I'm going to show you this whole step this time just because some of you probably can't picture it. I factor this. I get 173 over here. That's x plus 10 squared equals 173. Take the square root of both sides. X plus 10 equals plus or minus the square root of 173. Now I subtract 10 from both sides, so I'm going to have to write my answer up here. So I'm going to turn it sideways. Subtract 10, you get x equals negative 10 plus or minus the square root of 173. Oh, I'm going to have to find a better way to set this paper. All right. You do number 4 on your own. Let's see if I can get this camera to. You do number 4. Don't be afraid to get it wrong, okay? You do number 4. Do not be afraid to get it wrong. Math is hard. It's okay to be wrong. Just try, try, try. All right, I'm going to stop the video. You guys have this done before you get back from winter break. Have fun.